talk about liquid profiles and deep editing. I'm talking about definition and clarity. As well as, you know, all sorts of other things in here. Here's the thing about liquid profiling. It's amazing. It is amazing. Here I've got a 65 Vibrolux. This is from the brand new Liquid American Kemper Profile Pack, where I took 4 vintage American amps, all Fenders, like a Vibrochamp, Vibrolux, a 76 or 67 Deluxe, and a 65 Twin. And I made them all liquid profiles. I put in some pedals, I put in different microphones, so I've got single mic stuff and dual mic stuff, and it's great. There's a couple free ones that you're going to be able to download. You should get them in the emails and stuff, but I want to talk about how to edit these liquid profiles. And so I have here the 65 Vibrolux NB. So here's the bright one, and you heard the tone there. Now, obviously, I can up the treble, I can cut the bass, so I'll go to my neck. Maybe I'll jump on the bridge. Maybe I go, hey, that's too thin. Well, now look, I've got this super accurate tone stack. And of course, I can bring it all the way clean. Or I can make it, you know, real all the way dirty. Or, you know, as dirty as this Fender amp would get. I mean, it's like even on 10, you know. Hear how the bass came up? And that's really how where this liquid profile technology really tells me that it's very accurate, because that's how the amps respond, you know? That thing sounds great, and dude, it was profiled back here. Maybe a little more than that, but here's the thing. We've got all this, we've got great stuff in here. We've got like a bright cap intensity and stuff. And it's great. It's great to be able to change the generic gain and match it with other profiles and do all this stuff. But when we have a liquid profile really dialed in, we got to remember we still have all these other ultra great shaping mechanisms on the Kemper. Now, there's a couple ways you can kind of go about this. I personally still like to come back here and dial up my clarity. I'm a big fan of this on Fender amps. Clarity with no clarity, or with the clarity control at default 0, sounds like this. Try to like listen to the top end here, you know? It almost like adds in this like cleanish top end, which if I max out the amp and I add a good amount of clarity, you can really hear just as taking it all the way down. bringing it all the way back up. I really think it makes a huge difference around like 5. You know, I leave it there, and I love this sort of. Even with a little overdrive, like a little tube screamer. That's good tone, y'all. That's some good tone. I don't know. I think that's great. I think that's really great, actually. I love that clarity. But here's the other thing. The definition still works really well. So I've got this a little thicker, but let me put it at 5.5 and 5.5. And you might be wondering, hey, Chevy, wait a minute. My fenders go to 10. Why? 5.5 is not half of 10. It's because the knobs on the fenders don't go to 0. They only go down to 1. So 0 on the knob is actually 1. So the whole sweep from 1 to 10, actually half of that is 5.5. Because you can't go below 1 on the fenders. You dial it down, and it should line up with the 1, on the knob if the 10 lines up. That's sort of how they're spaced out. So it's a little quirk. You actually can't put them on 0. 1 is where you go. So halfway, there's 9. If you look 1 to 10, it's a movement of like 9 units. 1 plus 4.5, half of 9, 5.5. That's why it defaults to 5.5. It's a little tricky thing that our German friends have figured out here. Even on this liquid profile, we still have this wonderful definition control, and I can bring it down like this. And here's what I hear. If I take this definition control and I bring it down to like 3, it's a little more like going more ribbon mic or fatter mic placement, a little more low end there. But if I bring it up to like 6.8, it's a little more like dynamic mic-y, a little more kind of. And of course, I got the amp way up. You can kind of beautiful it up here a bit, Oh my gosh, I've got the tube screamer on. It still sounded beautiful. That's really something. I love that. So I tend to like profiles right in the middle here. And I think it's important because we still want to take advantage of the deep editing parameters in the Kemper that have made it so useful and made it so just toneful, even after all these years, right? And so you can default it wherever you want. Like it can default, like now let's look at like a single mic, okay? So I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna find VB, maybe VB, and I've got a Royer 121 and an SM 545, right? And so here I've got amplifier definition is at 4.5, and on the SM 545 definition about the same, 4.5. But listen to this EQ difference, because we get a real different character. Here's the neck. Beautiful. SM 545, more dynamic. Listen to this. More mid-rangey, less open sounding, less full sounding, in my opinion. Listen to these open kind of back to that SM 545. Top end is like more compressed. Overall, just less presence on the top end. And how I like to think of that is, well, I could add more treble, but I could also come in here and up this definition, maybe get rid of a little bit of more of that low end, up the treble, and I can still do another thing where I can come back here and I can up the clarity, because I feel like that opens up the high end a bit. And now I get a little better, I think. And I still have all the ability to like clean up the amp. But is there really any substitute for a 121? It sounds good, man. Check it out. I'm going to up my clarity. I'm going to do the same little tricks here. I'm going to leave the compression alone because I like not having a lot of compression. I'm going to leave that low end in, and I'm going to just up the treble a little bit. Bass, I'm just going to bring back to like right in the middle, 5.5. So it's kind of how a lot of people would set up a Fender, 5-ish on the bass and maybe just slightly more on the treble. And it's going to sound like that. That is just some of the most addicting Strat tone. So While I love having the bass and treble accurate, and I love on a Fender amp, it's invaluable, this new liquid profiling. Being able to come down here or all the way up. That feels like you're with the amp. The ability to do that is awesome, but the deep editing to me still really shines. I like to dial in how I would dial in the amp, but these deep editing parameters to me still give me more of the studio level, digital brain, like deep editing capability that the Kemper is famous for. And so while I love that everybody's really excited about liquid profiling, I kind of am of the opinion we've had the greatest parameters all along. Now, I'm really stoked about this. There's some great stuff like, let's check out this little vibro champ, because I think it's awesome having this little vibro champ. Check it out with a little 121 action here, and I'll up it so we get a little dirt. But that's a little dark, right? So let's come in here, up that definition, and now we got this. That sounds like the champ. I actually feel like I'm right here with the champ. And that's what's really cool, both about the Liquid American pack, because I gave you those single mics. But of course, you can always mix them together and you get kind of the full thing, the bright and the deep kind of thing.